In front of the largest audience in all Elite Wrestling history, 20,177 fans jam-packed the Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York to witness one of the dream matches that wrestling fans thought was just a dream. Before September 5th, 2021, wrestling fans would have to create and or download a Kenny Omega character on the WWE 2K series in order to have a chance at sniffing this dream match. Bryan Danielson made his shocking debut at the All Out pay-per-view, and the owner of AEW, Tony Khan, wasted no time in giving the AEW fan base and the world the match of the year. From the moment JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur opened the show and ran down the entire card, which gifted us not only Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega, but also Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes 2. The Icon, Sting, and Darby Allin versus FTR, MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr., and in the main event, Ruby Soho versus the Dr. Britt Baker DMD for the AEW Women's World Championship. Fans were on their feet when Bryan Danielson's theme song hit and he made his way out of the face tunnel. AEW wasted no time and gave us the highly anticipated match first, Danielson and Omega. To start it off, there was a stare down which turned the crowd crazy. They immediately went into a holy shit chant, and then we began the 30-minute classic that showed not only the greatest hits from Omega, but also a different side of Bryan Danielson that hadn't been seen in his previous employer. This match also gave us one commercial break. This wasn't only a dream match, this was a 5-star classic and arguably the greatest TV match of all time. Then there was the match that everyone was afraid of, Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black 2. All AEW fans feared that Cody was going to bury more incoming talent since he really doesn't need a win right now. While the match itself wasn't the greatest, we were gifted a great finish with Malachi Black using the mist and rolling up Cody for the win. Now that Cody has taken another loss to Malachi Black, we can start the heel turn and have him think he's the ultimate babyface, but in all actuality, he's the second biggest heel in the company behind MJF. We were also gifted MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. and FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin. While these two matches weren't highly advertised, the competitors in these matches still showed that they were ready for the big stage. Pillman even showed that in a couple of years, he will be ready for the main event scene, and maybe, just maybe, in 6 to 10 months, he might be ready for a TNT championship run. FTR put on a tag team clinic, cutting the ring in half, but the real star of the night in this tag team match was the Icon, Sting. Sting may be in his 60s, but you couldn't tell that on this night. His explosiveness and straight to the point offense, FTR's willingness to put over Sting strong, shows you that AEW not only appreciates tag team wrestling, but also appreciates the legends who have helped pave the way for this amazing company. In the main event, we have the number one contender after winning the Women's Casino Battle Royale from the Joker position, Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker. The AEW Women's World Champion, the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD. This match absolutely lived up to the hype that Ruby Soho had when she debuted at All Out. Soho took the Good Doctor to her limit. In the end, Ruby Soho was unable to beat the numbers game when Jamie Hayter attacked Ruby Soho from the outside, which allowed Dr. Britt Baker to lock in the lockjaw submission for the win and retain her AEW Women's World Championship. Looking back on this amazing show, AEW showed the world a few different things. That a new company is on the rise. They care about things that the big company doesn't, and most importantly, they watch the product. I'm KB the Mark, signing off until the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Mr. Perfect.
What's up, everyone? I'm Camilio Salamander.
And I'm KB the Mark.
And together, we some fucking marks. Here you can catch everything in the world of wrestling.
That's right. Whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, you name it, we got it.
You can catch all new episodes every Sunday.
You can also catch us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Now, if you like us, like really like us, come and check us out on YouTube at WBPTV Wrestling. Once again, you can catch all new episodes every Sunday.
Now, what a way to end your week than to listen to the boys over here.
That's right. WBPTV presents the D&B Podcast. You don't want to miss it. And like always, we'll see you on the next one.
I started with nothing and came out a king. I've been the one that's been ballin' for rings. It's been me and my team and we chasing the green. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free.